Experiment log 1528. Subject: D23461. Object: illustration. Object floor. Subject of illustration was an impossible triangle. Result: subject went into immediate epileptic shock. Upon regaining consciousness, subject stated they could only remember the whole room turning inside out. Subject: D71902. Object: a bottle labeled with the Coca-Cola brand. Object floor. Bottle contained Pepsi-Cola. Result: D71902 complained that any food or drink they were given tasted off while affected. Subject did not state that they had a strong preference for either beverage before or after the test. Subject: D44431. Object: one chocolate bar. Object floor. The chocolate bar had been bitten sideways. Result: D44431 refused to consume chocolates or chocolate-flavored object in any way other than consuming them sideways. D44431 still consumed non-chocolate foodstuffs normally. Subject: D82654. Object: the testing chamber. Object floor. D82654 has a mental disorder which causes him to believe every room has something wrong with it. Result: D82654's mental disorder was not temporarily alleviated, as expected. Instead, he began to apply the same specific flaw that he saw in the test chamber to every room he was taken in to observe. For the record, the specific flaw he noted was the paint being too dry. Subject: D87661. Object: D00391. Who is an amputee? Left arm. Object floor. D87661 suffers from body integrity identity disorder. Result: D87661 began to report that they felt their left arm had been liberated from their body. Analysis of D87661's left arm showed a complete lack of sensory input to the brain. D87661's sensory information returned to normal immediately after being made unconscious following the test. Subject: D32642. Object: D09871. Object floor. D09871 suffers from dwarfism. Result: D32642 had difficulty moving with precision, and reported seeing non-structural objects as significantly smaller than they actually were. He reported his perceived height to be 3 meters tall, and had similar reports for the size of other people. Subject: D28830. Object: a mirror. Object floor. None. Intended as a baseline test. Result: D28830 appears disoriented, exhibits laterally inverted movement. Subject further attempts to grasp objects with her opposite hand. Reports the entire facility appears backwards. Of particular interest is that, although right-handed, D28830 was able to write with her left hand with no difficulty, albeit inverted. Subject: D56790. Object: a monitor displaying Java source code written in the IDE. Object floor. The name of a core library was misspelled. Result: D56790 was a programmer. Subject believed that the misspelled name was the correct name. When asked to write code, D56790 could not perceive the errors. Instead, he perceived the code as doing what he would expect. Bugs did not appear if he expected the code to work. When the code was corrected, he perceived the compiler as giving an error. Subject: D56922. Object: a piece of cooked venison. Object floor. A bite was taken out of it. Result: the subject refused to eat intact food. Any items that had not been partially consumed by another individual were reported as unsanitary. Testing established that this included food personally prepared by D 56922 under sterile conditions.